Hi, this is Rebecca Welzenbach. I'm the Research Impact Librarian at the University of Michigan, and I'm back today for day 2 of our Research Impact Challenge. Today, we will be looking at Google Scholar and how to claim your Google Scholar profile. Let me share my screen and we'll look at this together. Okay, so if you do research online, you are surely familiar with Google Scholar. What it is sort of a subset of the entire Google search index, where Google has used its little crawler robots to identify things that it thinks are scholarly literature. It looks for PDFs that are structured like journal articles. It looks for bits of text that look like scholarly citations, and all kinds of other things, metadata from the publisher or embedded in the web page. There are a whole lots of things, we don't know all of them, that Google uses to identify what it thinks is scholarly literature. It is different from something like Scopus or Web of Science in that there are no expert editors or curators assessing which publications are included, which journals show up, that kind of thing. It's all automated. So it's important to know that Google errs on the side of sort of sucking up everything it can rather than being selective about what's included. However, Google Scholar is out there doing this work, looking for publications, trying to match publications to authors. And by claiming your Google Scholar profile, you have a chance to take a little more, um, have a little more ownership of that process. Identify your own works, be sure that they are accurately representing you, that kind of thing. So here's how you do it. You go to scholar.google.com and you will want to be sure to sign in using your University of Michigan credentials. You could either do it up here in the right-hand corner, or if you just go to my profile in the upper left, if you're not signed in, it'll prompt you to log in. So I'm going to choose my U of M credentials, and we'll do our favorite activity of seeing if I can type my password today. Let's try, yes. I'll do my two-factor auth. Okay, now I have already claimed my profile, so it looks a little different from what you will see on your first time. So I'm going to go back over to our Research Impact Challenge Guide. You've seen this before. We're on day 2, claim your Google Scholar profile. And if you're doing this for the first time, whoops, that zoomed in very large, you will see a form something like this. It'll prompt you to supply your name, your affiliation, and email address. And these 3 fields are the only ones that you need to do right away for now. You will want to put your academic affiliation, and you'll want to use your University of Michigan email address. Google Scholar will then send you a follow-up email at that address asking you to verify it. And that will give you a little extra credential in Google Scholar saying you really are affiliated with the University of Michigan. Once you get through that step, Google will give you a list of publications that it thinks were written by you. Depending on your name and your publication record, it may or may not do a very good job. So take a quick look. If you're very prolific or if you have a common name, you might have a lot to sort of look through and choose or reject. If there are ones that don't belong to you, just click the box beside it and click delete. You can also merge records if Google has captured 2 records that go to the same thing. If you don't have any publications, this is the part that is frustrating. In order to proceed and claim your profile, you will need to accept a publication that is not yours. Go through, and then once your profile is set up, of course, delete it because it's not yours. Delete that publication from your profile. This is not great. I don't love recommending this path forward, but it's the only way that I've found so far that Google Scholar will sort of allow you to go through and claim a profile without having any publications yet. You'll be given a couple of questions to answer. First, do you want Google Scholar to automatically add new publications as it finds them? Or do you want it to have you review them first? This is totally up to you, and it may depend on how well Google did on that first pass trying to find your work. If Google did a pretty good job, you may be happy for them to continue to automatically assign publications to you. If you have a very common name, or you know there are others working in the same space as you and Google sort of didn't do a great job of identifying your work, you may want to always review things. And you can always change this later. And then finally, you can choose if you want your profile to be public. In other words, if other folks Googling your name will find your Google Scholar profile and be able to click on your name throughout Google Scholar to see your whole list. The final thing I recommend you do here, now I'm jumping back to my profile, is click this button up here in the upper right-hand corner. I've already done this. If you haven't done it before, it will say follow. Mine now says following. And this way you can opt in to receive an email alert every time Google Scholar finds a new publication for you that it thinks was authored by you, or a new citation of your work, which would be quite exciting to know about. Other things on this page, if you like, you can add a photo. I have not done that yet. You can add areas of interest that will help sort of surface you in fields where you're working. And you can add co-authors who have worked with you. There are some statistics over here in the right-hand corner that have to do with how Google Scholar has measured citations of your work, and some other metrics having to do with how much work you have published and then how frequently those works have been cited. We will get into these metrics later in the Research Impact Challenge towards the end of our 10 activities. So stay tuned for more of that. But if you want to start investigating them, you can click on any of these and read more. So that's it, really. Your profile is now set up and it will sort of continue to auto-populate itself, and you're all set to go. Enjoy, and we'll see you later for day 3. Bye.